It is fair to say we are being shaken awake. There is going to be a lot of surfacing of like deep-rooted traumas around money. Wow, what a ride it has been closing out the October energies and stepping into November. It's now time to throw yet another energy curveball into the mix with the total lunar eclipse coming on the 8th of November. It's seatbelt time once again. Ladies and gents, in keeping with my normal language, buckle up. Now, remember, towards the end of this energy update, I will be giving you an exercise to be able to, neutralize and work best with the energy of this full moon. So please do run off and get a pen and paper now if you have not got one already, although most of you are probably very used to it by now. Everyone, hello, good evening. My name is Lucy Davis and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is fair to say we are being shaken, awaken right now, ladies and gents. People that you know who have been asleep through the whole of the last 2.5, 3 years, all of a sudden they're coming back online. My mum absolutely shocked me today with an absolute corker of where she was tapping into some psychic and into some telepathy. So hello, if my mum is really coming online right now, then all of your parents and your loved ones should be as well. Be patient with them if they are not. This full moon is going to be the little nudge that they need. So since coming back from doing some energy work at the weekend, the weather has been extremely interesting, and it is a testament to this full moon. It is creating some shifts, creating some movement, and almost making the earth shake, if that makes sense. So what I've had, most of you know that I literally look out over the ocean. So what we've been having since Monday is like every now and again, just one big, massive, loud clap of thunder. And it's like, wow, okay, you've got my attention. What would you like? And then just one flash of lightning a few seconds later. And then that's it, it's gone. And then there's maybe an hour or two later, the same thing's been happening again. So it's extremely interesting. And it's been real fork lightning, like Mama G is saying, enough is enough. What I'm feeling like this is that Mother Nature is purging. Okay, purging is very, very interesting around total eclipses. So please be cognizant of that information. There is going to be, I feel, some quite extreme weather. Whether that's rain or whether that is, sleet or fog, or depending on where you are around the world, maybe it's the other way. Maybe it's like really, really, really hot sunshine. I believe that this is clearing and purging aged, ancient, ancestral heaviness, so that we can move to the much lighter, higher frequencies of the new earth, so that they can actually start to come through. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm so ready for it. I'm like, where do I sign up? Where do I sign up? And I hear them say, you already have signed up, Lucy. That's why you're down there doing this stuff. That's why you're doing these videos. But sometimes it would just be nice to have a rubber stamp date, wouldn't it, ladies and gents? How many of you would like to just see a date? Yes, on the 11th of November 2022. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have shifted timelines. We're going to be into a beautiful, peaceful, harmonious life from here on in. Unfortunately, I do not have that information for you, although I do have my own feels on it. I wouldn't dare say it out publicly. So there has been a lot of flooding actually on the roads down here, just going back to the weather. So like I say, I'm down in the south of England, and I went to the gym this morning, and I actually drove because it was raining so much. I don't normally drive to the gym, but I drove because it was raining so heavily. And a lot of the roads that I went down, you actually had to drive on the other side of the road because the flooding on the road had got so bad, whether that would be the drains or whatever, like it got quite bad. So I don't know what that's like over the rest of the country, but please do know that all of this rain, the claps of thunder, the little spells of lightning that we're getting, please do recognize that this is cleansing of the energies. Okay, so it's massive, massive purging that's taking place. And, my God, haven't we all been purging over the last few years? So when I was channeling this information, I only did it earlier today because I have been so busy with traveling, and I'm off to Manchester first thing tomorrow morning, and I'm speaking up there over the weekend. I'm doing some massive energy work as well on the road. My diary is just crazy. And then on Wednesday next week, I fly off to Morocco. So it's a really, really, really busy time trying to get everything organized and ready to go. But I've only just done this today, and what they said to me when I was channeling this is it's face-off time. And I was like, what do you mean by that? Are we going to go nose to nose? And what they basically said to me is it's time for the dark to see the light. It's time for the happy to see the sad. Like, it's literally the clashing of the polarities right now. So please do remember that as you are having confrontations with people, and people are trying to provoke you and trigger you and get you to react in a way that perhaps isn't quite in alignment with yourself. Now, as I mentioned, the November energy update, there is so much energy building. Frustrations are running high. Passion is being expressed. Oh my goodness, is passion being expressed? I'm really noticing how passionate people are, whether that's in love or in anger. Like, it's like literally the polarities are so obvious there right now. So please do remember that this is a demonstration of explosions. Okay, so the earth shattering, this is cleansing, this is purging, this is all of the healing coming up to the surface so that we can step through it. You know, we're not out of the hall of mirrors yet. Some people think that they are immune to it. Nobody is immune to it. You can pick your time to actually go through it. And a lot of us started jumping in a long time ago, even though we didn't perhaps want to. We kind of got a little shove in that direction. But there are still people out there saying that they're immune to it, or saying that it's everybody else and not them. Those people are in for a shock, because they are going to have their dark night of the soul, you know, if they want to ascend and they want to go forward. So my recommendation to all of you guys would be really start to take ownership and recognize where you're being delusional, and please just, you know, surrender to it and recognize it and journal it and purge it, and, you know, do whatever you need to do. Apologize to people, forgive people for past mistakes. A lot of energy around the past is coming up right now, like exes are going to be getting in touch, and past behaviors are going to surface. Addictions, I think I mentioned that last month at some point, addictions were going to come to the surface, and it's still that energy there. We're like dredging everything right up from the bottom. There's going to be a lot of closure, what did they say to me? Final endings, finality, something like that. It was basically something around things are going to be very final. So be very careful with the words that you're using. Be very conscious of the kind of engagements that you are getting involved in. There will be a lot of endings. Politics has been very, very rife when I was channeling this. Finances, you know, debts, mortgages, things like that. And there's lots of changes and lots of cycles going to be completed in this area. So please just have, you know, just breathe through anything that is going on with you and your loved ones as we step further through this full moon. And as you guys know, you can tap into these energies about a week or so before, and normally a week or two afterwards. You know, the window is massive, and because this is a total lunar eclipse, the energies are going to be felt for quite some time, you know, probably well into the new year. This full moon, as always, is going to shine the light on things that need to come to the surface. So anything that has been hidden, any secrets, any mistruths, they're all going to come to the surface. So my advice to anybody out there, whatever situation you're in, whether it's work, relationship, whatever, be honest, because you're going to get caught out. You're going to get burnt. The full moon is going to burn you. So just be very, very, very careful that you are living in your truth. If you are saying you're going to do something, stick to it. If you're saying something's a priority, don't be bullshitting. You know, it's extremely important that people start to recognize that this isn't going to wash anymore. This gift of the gab, or, you know, pretending, or, you know, saying to someone that something's important when actually it's not, you know, it's just not going to wash with people anymore. It's all coming to the surface. The light is going to be shone very, very brightly on this. There will be some stuff surfacing around financial security and financial safety. People are going to feel a little bit insecure where money is concerned. So just remember this when you, if this happens for you, really breathe through it. You know, see yourself as abundant. Make sure that you are setting the tone that abundance flows into you and all around you, because you are creating, and I'll get to the manifestation in a bit, but you are creating everything that you think and everything that you act and everything that you behave. So please do remember that. There is going to be a lot of surfacing of like deep-rooted traumas around money, around debts, around, you know, mortgages, loans. Maybe somebody owes you some money. I mean, I'm owed money from people from way back when. I mean, I've written it off now, but you know, like that kind of stuff, do expect it to come to the surface. It's extremely interesting right now because we're purging everything. It needs to come to the surface for us to let it go once and for all. Our shadow self is going to be being a little pest. I don't know about yours. Mine's actually been okay recently, but you know, she's let me know that she's there. So don't be surprised if your shadow self starts to be a little bit of a pest and ask you to deal with your past, ask you to be honest. Remind you that anything that you've been hiding is going to come to the surface, whether that is, you know, you've spent some money or you've lost some money or you've done something that you shouldn't have done. Chances are it's all going to come to the surface right now. So what I would be doing if I was you is being very, very, very honest. Notice how you are feeling when your old stuff is coming up. If it's making you feel very sad, sit, reflect, allow yourself to feel that emotion. And then, you know, we can transmute it and just let go of that. It's very important that we actually feel it. There's a lot of chaos around this full moon. The full moon really does shine a light on everything. So if there's stuff to come up, it's going to have the light shone on it. You know how bright the full moon is. You know, if there's a clear sky on the night of full moon, literally it's so bright, isn't it? That's what's happening, which is why the chaos is going to seem much more prevalent, because the moon is going to be shining on us. There is definitely, without any shadow of a doubt, I said this definitely in the new moon at the end of October, and definitely in the November energy update, around the energy around relationships, friendships, intimate relationships, the passion, the intensity. You know, all of this is going to be, you know, people's control issues are going to be coming to the surface. You know, we're going to be like looking at people like, wow, never saw that side of you before. So be very, very aware of that. Remember, you don't have to put up with this stuff. Make sure that you have really clear boundaries. And boundaries, again, is a massive push for this full moon. And again, I'll cover that in a minute. This is the time to be focusing on your spiritual work, on your inner work, you know, just focusing on self, focusing on your self-love, self-care, self-worth, confidence, things like that. It's extremely important that you focus on you and the energies that you have. People are going to be wanting to siphon your energy through this period of time. They are very much going to want to be latching onto you and your energies. And with all due respect, ladies and gents, I just think that we need to buckle that down completely. You know, nobody, not even your children, should be able to siphon your energy. You should be protecting yourself at all costs. You should be recognizing when people are attempting to provoke you or get something out of you that perhaps you don't want to give them. Maybe, you know, that you're finding yourself in a situation where you're walking away from a conversation and you are so drained. Like, that's on you. That's down to you. You need to recognize how this is making you feel and how you are choosing this. Okay, so it's very, very, very important. Please focus on you as you step through this intense period of time. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Let them focus on them. If we all focus on ourselves, then we would come together in a unified front a lot better. Breathe. Breath work is so important during this period of time, ladies and gents. It's what's going to get us through. This is how we are going to save ourselves, is by breathing, by remembering I can regulate the whole of my physical body purely by taking a breath in. You know, go and do some Wim Hof breath techniques, or, you know, there's plenty of other people out there that have amazing breathwork techniques. Go and do some of those. Stop and recognize where you are being targeted. How are people like trying to find you? How are people trying to latch onto you? How are people blaming you or shaming you or things like that? How are you being targeted right now? Again, this is a massive energy that's coming through. We have so much chaos that is taking place. People are panicking about money. People are like, who's the leader? We don't want that leader. You know, here in the UK, it's a real shit show right now. And I'm not saying it's not anywhere else. Like, it is a real mess right now around the world. Good. This is what we came here for. It's going to get worse before it gets better. We have to shake all of this stuff to the surface. Lots of issues will be coming up globally and in each respective country that we all live. Okay, there's going to be a lot of issues. Your job is to anchor that light. Your job is to be like, whoa, I need to take some time out here. Or your job is to say, I can't take this phone call right now. Or your job is to say, hey, hang on a minute, I'm not going to be having that. That's just not the way that this is going to happen. This is your job. Doesn't mean arguing, doesn't mean, having anything like that. You don't need to make it worse, but you have boundaries. The only way you're going to know what your boundaries are is by looking at your standards and your values. And most people do not know what their standards are. Most people do not know what their values are. Most people do not know how to communicate effectively. So these are the areas that are having a light shone on us right now. We are in such a huge transformational period of energy that these basic questions need to be asked. Now, if you are somebody that's like, oh my God, I've never asked myself those questions, go and check out my 5-day breakthrough program. It is £7.77. It's so cheap. You get a video from me, some homework, and bits and an email every day from myself. Okay, it's £7.77. It will help you start to just get into alignment, but you have to be honest. There's a lot of people that go, oh yeah, that was easy, because they haven't been honest. They haven't allowed themselves to have a breakthrough. They've gone, oh yeah, I'm just going to tick this box, rather than really allowing themselves. I mean, the breakthroughs that we've had on that program for £7.77 is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So what else was I going to say? Expect the next big push now during this full moon. There's going to be huge shifts taking place. Literally, it's like we're on the edge of the bungee jump, and we're like, we don't want to go, and someone just goes, you're going, and then you're just free falling. This is what's happening right now, this transformational energy. We're all getting a boot up the bottom. It's time for us to step forwards. It's time for us to level up. It's time for us to actually recognize what we got sent here to do and get it done. We are getting to the point of we've already gone past the point of no return, but it's almost like the finale, if that makes sense. It's like the crescendo that's building, when it just builds and it builds and it builds, and then all of a sudden, that's what's happening right now. Okay, so I mentioned manifestation a short time ago, and it's a very important piece of this full moon energy. Did you just see that orb just go flying across? Very, very important that we recognize that we are very capable of manifesting absolutely anything right now. If you sit there and think, oh my God, that person's going to let me down, trust me, they're going to let you down. If you think, oh my goodness, I'm going to live like this, you're going to end up living like that. So please, please be very aware and very clear and very conscious of everything that you are thinking, you are speaking, and you are acting on. Everything we feel, see, and think about is coming in. Honestly, it's ridiculous. I can't even say to you, I'd love to give you the examples that I've got to give you, but it's ridiculous how we are creating right now. You need to recognize that you are a powerful manifester. You are God's child, and you are able to create. That's what we've always been put on this planet to do, to be able to create the life, create the abundance, create everything that we need. And quite frankly, ladies and gents, we have dulled ourselves down so much by sex, drugs, alcohol, things like that. And we're coming back online. We're rebooting the system. So from my perspective right now, just be very aware of, your alcohol consumption and things like that. Put you at the top of your list. Get your butt to the gym, get out walking, get out into nature, love yourself, journal. If you're not journaling, get on and journal. It's very, very, very important. One of my favorite subjects, and it's rife for this full moon, is boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Now, people are going to be playing on your boundaries right now. People are going to be testing you, like I've said. So you need to know what is acceptable and what is not. Now, I'm very clear with my boundaries. I will not be spoken to in certain ways. I will not put up with certain things. And people don't like it when you've got boundaries with them, especially if they prey on you having no boundaries. So it's very important that we recognize this. It's very, very, very important that we actually say, right, am I being a dick right now? Am I being hard work? Or am I actually just applying a boundary and this person's having a reaction to it? This is where you need to go. And it's always a challenging one. It's always a challenging one. People can manipulate you and make you feel things that perhaps aren't really there. That's down to you to figure out. I can't help you with that one, unfortunately, because this is your discernment, this is your test, this is your lessons that you need to step through. But remember, what you are putting out into the universe is what you're going to get back. All right. Remember, whatever you tolerate and whatever you put up with is what's going to come back to you even more. So just perhaps, give that some thought. What is it that you would like? Who are you? Because when you know those things, you will be able to tell what boundaries you need to be put in place. Like I've said a couple of times, be expected or expect to be tested to the max in this area. Let me know if you felt this. I know I did an Instagram live video a few days ago, maybe, I don't know, everything's merging into one, isn't it? But I think I did an Instagram live video a few days ago, and people were like, wow, yeah, I'm really feeling people are being critical and they're projecting on me and they're being quite mean and da 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 da. So it feels, actually, I think it was a Facebook live, it feels as if it's quite a bit of an energy, this purging of the past energies and our past traumas and stuff. So just remember to remain in love. Every challenge that you've got, just come back into your heart space. Yes, it's challenging when you're under attack, and it's okay to take some moments to process and feel the sadness or feel whatever, but just come back into love and obviously step forwards from there. Please expect curveballs, ladies and gents, because that's what's going to be happening. Opportunities are going to go off piste. Okay, they are going to go off piste. So just ride the cosmic waves. As I keep saying to people right now, it's very important that we just hold on to that surfboard that we are using to ride these cosmic waves, and just recognize them as they come in. Oh yeah, wow, that's a curveball, right? Okay, that was a test. What am I supposed to do from here? Am I supposed to step forwards? Am I supposed to stop? Am I supposed to just take a breather? Because we're all being tested right now. And a lot of people are not sitting still. They are so distracted that it is just not working for them. And they are going to get tested and tested and tested until they stop. It's very, very interesting right now. There is so much love doing the rounds right now. So please enjoy it, ladies and gents. Please enjoy it. If you found someone special, love on that person, spend time with that person, communicate effectively with that person, enjoy the passion, focus on your love. Focus on your relationships, focus on your romantic life. Like, that's what I would be suggesting to you right now. Like, this love is so prevalent with Venus that we really should just be sucking it up whilst we can, because, we're not always in this really beautiful, passionate energy. Please, like I said earlier, you've got to know what your standards and your values are. If you allow your standards and values to slip, then obviously what's going to happen is your standards, you're probably going to get triggered. You're probably going to get annoyed. You're probably going to have things come up that you're like, oh, why have I found myself here again? So please do look at what your heart truly desires, and, be a good person. Be a good person. If somebody wants to be a dick to you, then let them. But just remember, you be a good person, because you put out the imprint that you want in your life, and let them just do what they need. Like, it's really hard at the moment. There's a lot of endings. I've heard of so many people passing over to the other side. I've heard so many relationships breaking down. This really is a period of time for endings and completions and coming back to a full circle. So just ride that out. And any of you going through any of that stuff, my heart is with you. Okay, if there is things in your life that are not best intended for you, i.e. it's not for your highest timeline, they are going to be removed. Whether you like it or not, they will do whatever it takes to remove it. So please have that level of consciousness, okay? If you resist it, it's going to hurt even more. It's going to burn. If you cling on to a piece of rope when the rope's being pulled from you, you're going to get burnt hands, aren't you? So sometimes it's better to let go and then let it come back to you. Just allow the flow. You will feel the shifts much more deeply. Please allow yourself to feel the emotions of the sadness, the hurt, whatever, because obviously it's coming up for healing, but do allow it to flow through you, okay? There is a mass spiritual awakening taking place on the planet right now, ladies and gents, like a mass spiritual awakening. So, please just be patient with those around you. Please just love yourself more fiercely. Go and make sure that you take the time for yourself. Take time to be in nature. I don't know if you're an ocean swimmer, but get in the ocean if you are. It's a very, very, very important time. It's vital that we actually really do look after ourselves right now, because nobody else is coming to look after us, ladies and gents. Okay, so that's the energy for the full moon this time round. Now, if you haven't run off and got a piece of paper and a pen, please pause the video now and I will see you in one moment to give you the exercise. Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back. This exercise for this full moon is slightly different. So we're actually going to be looking back at the May full moon exercise that we did back then. Now, if you didn't do it, don't worry about it. Just go through everything that I'm asking you to look back on, but you can just do this for yourself. So as always, the first step is to cleanse your aura. And whilst you're cleansing your aura, I would just like you to say 3 times, I am the light, I am the love, I am the truth, I am. Like really get that set into your auric field. I am the light, I am the love, I am the truth, I am. 3 times you need to say that, okay? Then as always, go around your space and sage, Palo Santo, essential oils, salts, whatever it is that you're looking for, and say something along the lines of, I release all that no longer serves and welcome in truth, freedom, love, and light for the forward journey. Now, if you partook in the full moon energy exercise back in May, please go and find the piece of paper that I asked you to store under a crystal for all of this time. Now, some of you will be like, shit, I threw that away last week, but you know, this is the time that we need to be looking at. So in that full moon ritual, I basically asked you to look at what needed closing out of your life. Like, what did you need to release? What did you need to let go of? So go and take a look at the actions that you wrote back then of the things that you needed to close out of your life and how you were going to take that action. Ask yourself, if you didn't do that ritual, actually do that. What do you need to close out of your life? What do you need to release? What actions do you need to take to release it? But if you did do it, go and look at the list. Have you done it? Have you actually fulfilled the actions that you asked yourself to do? Once you've done that, I'd like you to just sit with the list, like review it, give gratitude for the version of you that was 6 months ago. Really beautiful. Look how much we've evolved in 6 months. My goodness, I could tell you so much. You know, when I look back, I'm filming this on the 3rd of November. And if I look back to the 3rd of May, my life was very different to what it is today. Very, very, very different. These 6 months have been pivotal. They've been transformational. They've been huge. They've been catastrophic. You know, 16 countries I've been to in that period of time. So, and it's just about to increase to be even more. So, you know, it's look at who you were and look at who you are today and be proud of who you are and give gratitude for who you are, no matter how tired you feel or what shit's been hitting the fan. Please, please, please go there. Okay, the next step is to just drop into meditation for about 11 to 15 minutes. And during this, like have some Milan on or have some solfeggio frequencies or something like that. And just sit and feel about those things that you wanted to close out and how you've done it or how you haven't done it and what you need to do it. Just allow yourself that flow. Then when you come out the other side of that meditation, like I say, 11 to 15 minutes, set a time if you need to. If you don't mind how long you go off for, go off for as long as you need. When you come out of it, pop your hand on your heart and then ask yourself these questions. And on a piece of paper, please do write this down. What do you love about yourself? The next question, what standards and values do I need to set? What boundaries are required at this now moment in your life? Allow that to flow. Leave the music on to just, you know, create a little bit more emotion within you. And then sit with that. Sit with that. Just hold that. You keep it close to you. Once you have finished that, what I would suggest is going and jumping into a shower and literally watching the shower as a waterfall, washing everything off of you. Envisage a platinum waterfall, just releasing any particles that have been stuck to you. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for your time. Have the most amazing full moon, and I will see you in the next video. Lots of love, guys. Take care.